All right, Dr. Henning Meyer is the head of the European programme at the Global Policy Institute. He's with us now in the studio. We haven't finished talking about Germany. I mean, the image we've got is of a fairly buoyant Angela Merkel celebrating this victory, but actually the second term in office is going to be much harder. She's got a real opposition to fight against now.
Yeah, it's now a completely different situation. Also, this is one major step for the German party system in general. You now have firmly established 5 parties. 6 parties if you count the CSU as one party. All 3 smaller parties had their best result ever, which is a significant development.
But that was to be expected though, wasn't it? Because given the grand coalition, it was the smaller parties which really had to kind of represent the opposition voice. So it was obvious that they were going to do well.
To a degree this was expected, but this meltdown of the SPD wasn't expected to this degree. If you look at the recent opinion polls, which tend to underestimate the actual result because of long-term affiliations to one specific party, especially one of the bigger parties. This was not predicted that it would be that bad. Also the CDU, I mean, they also lost in relation to 2005, which already was a quite bad result for them there.
Yeah. What is she actually going to do? Because it's been quite a weird election campaign. She's been almost silent about what she wanted to do for the country if she got back in.
Yeah, well, if the only 2 viable options are either another grand coalition with her as the leader or conservative liberal majority, which is now the result, she's basically already won it. So why sort of campaign on hard policy issues where there could be opposition to actually what she plans to implement? But
I mean, there's this kind of theorising that actually a kind of Maggie Thatcher-style leader is going to emerge, that suddenly, you know, free of the shackles of a kind of a cross-party coalition, she's going to be sort of veering down a much more firm line. Is that really going to happen, do you think? Well,
it's certainly a danger. I mean, there are built-in sort of blockades within the conservative camp, but we mustn't underestimate, in 2005 she was running on a very neoliberal agenda, didn't get the approval. And that wasn't popular. It wasn't popular, didn't get the approval, but this conservative liberal government that we're probably going to see will also have a very much strengthened liberal party in it. If you look at the previous conservative governments, liberal governments, the Liberal Party was very clearly a very weak partner, below 10%. Now they're on 15%. So they will feel strengthened. Okay, but how does this work? Because she's been one of the most vocal leaders in the world within the sort of global economic crisis, saying, you know, we need better regulation, we need to crack down on the banks, we don't want the kind of American style of doing things. Yet she's now going into a coalition with a party that wants just that. Yeah, it's very interesting how this is going to develop. Very interesting. Is it functional? I mean, is it going to work? Well, it depends. I mean, it was certainly one of the problems of the Social Democrats that they were not able to really sell their contribution to the Grand Coalition. In many respects, Tobin tax, other issues about bonuses, they all originated within the Social Democratic Party, but they didn't take credit for them. They were unable to communicate this effectively. And now we're going to see, well, maybe a complete change. It's up for grabs. So, I mean, the point, it sounds like, what you're saying is that actually we don't really know what she's going to do with this new sort of coalition. No, and she's in a sort of difficult position because the Liberal Party is so strong. I mean, they are the clear winners of this night, and there was... Come on, put it in perspective, they're still only on 15% of the vote, whereas her party's on 33.5. So, I mean, they're not really the stronger part of the coalition. No, but relative to what used to be a conservative liberal government, the Liberals have been significantly strengthened, and they're going to play this card obviously also in the negotiations leading up to the next government. Okay. Give us the hard sell then. Why does this matter? I mean, German politics is pretty dull at the best of times. The German media describe this election as boring. I mean, why does the world care about this result? Well, I can promise you it won't be as dull in the future, because now you have 2 clear camps. You will have a conservative liberal government by the looks of it, and a red-green opposition. It's not going to be dull. They're going to be fighting over economic and social policy, and now you're going to have some real camps, political camps fighting over policy. We'll keep you to that promise of exciting German elections in the future. Henning Meyer, thank you very much indeed. Thanks for having me.